Hello, are you out there? It's Mark with Redo Over, and we're back to Stellaris 4.1 in-depth playthrough. Yeah, Lyra just dropped here recently. I don't think it's changed too much for us, but no DLC still. We left off at a pretty exciting point. We had finished a migration treaty with the Tal Akuran hegemony. This allowed their residents to come in, essentially homestead, colonize new worlds in our space under our control, and theoretically for them to do the same with our people to their space. Now, it doesn't actually draw away pops. It just creates pops out of nowhere, like you're just, kind of like just magic trick. It doesn't actually grab 100 pops from one place or another, as far as I can tell. So, that being said, we currently have 3 colony ships in the queue. In fact, our first colony ship's already made. The Sandy Hopper, right here, is on its way to Jarrell War. Now, it will take it a while to get there, probably like 2 years or something. But yeah, we're rapidly going to colonize Jarrell War, Wegmore, and Raltree. And those are going to be 60 to 80% habitability planets. As we play through the next, decade, if there's some technology that will give us additional habitability, like a plus 10%, we're going to grab it because it would really help those worlds function better. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But otherwise today, as these new worlds become colonized, we will jump in, maybe set up some specializations, and definitely take a close look at specialization districts. We're going to need a lot of minerals to build more buildings as always, but we're sitting very good with our minerals at a plus 115% right now. So I can't complain about that. Food is in a good spot. Consumer goods is kind of hovering on being okay. Energy right there on the cusp. So I think all that looks good. We're going to dismiss this, and we have a first contact event pending. Who do we have here? We've reached an impasse with the fleet identifying itself as Ghost Ship. This unusual presence ignored most of our diplomatic overtures, but we can infer that its presence represents a neutral entity which stands apart from galactic civilization. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this is the psychic entity trapped within the vessel of a ship with a dead crew. So it leans towards psionic, hopefully. That could work really well for our spiritualist ethics civilization. We'll find out. But we'll just say curious. Oh, this completes the first contact. So our reward for completing first contact with the new aliens, the ghost ship, is 41 influence. And that kind of wraps that up. Awesome. That's actually really useful because little bonuses to influence like that really helps us in the race to claim new systems. Now, I want to point out that we're kind of in 2 directions. We're being torn in 2 directions with our expansion right now. One of them is down here to the galactic southeast, where we actually have, the Kugan Amanas coming around the backside to like survey these systems. The trick is, as much as I would love to claim all of this up to here, right, up to this trinary system, we're a long way from being able to do that because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 claims we would have to make to get that far. And we are nowhere near enough influence. I mean, we're not even near enough alloy to do that. So, although I want to gobble up as much of this as I can and keep it away from the Tal Akuran here, I think our much more pressing urgency is over here in the Regulus system. Yeah. We came across some Xenos in Regulus. Now, they haven't built anything yet, but you could see we are, in fact, using the ISS-Ys to complete the survey as quick as possible. So this is where we want to focus our efforts for the time being, if I had to say, which I am saying. So let's do a quick breakdown before we hit the go button. Currently, the Bones of a Dead Star is working on a few stations here. Then we'll kind of pull them back. There's not really anywhere else for them to advance here. Let's pull our fleets back to Jarrell War, mainly because we just want to protect the planet. I think our relations are quite good with the Talakuran. We've put in a lot of influence here. We have a non-aggression pact. a migration pact, a research agreement, and a commercial pact. All those things go a long way towards really smoothing out our relations. So I don't think we're going to get in a war anytime soon. But we want to make sure our fleets are positioned where we need them to be. I know that we have run into some mining drones down here and here, but the fleets are relatively small compared to our, we can pull together about a 2K fleet, 3K fleet right now. So I propose we just wipe these guys out. And if I'm not mistaken, we actually have fleets inbound. Yeah, right here and here. We're going to move the belt manglers onto Rana. So we're going to converge around 1,700 fleet power to Rana and then take out these mining drones, Just give them something to do. Now, we'll want to make sure that when we do that, there is a science ship available, because anytime we win a space battle, or I think almost every time, there's some amount of debris left from whatever alien ship, and you stand to glean technology by researching the debris field. I think that's called the debris field. So who do we have to do that? We have 2 ships at Escalon? Oh, come on, guys. I'll tell you what, whichever one of these science ships here finishes their surveying first, we will backtrack them kind of with the fleets to research. I mean, not only do we want to research Tunubu here, but we also are going to want to research whatever debris is left. So that's the plan. And do we need any extra help over here at Edervang? We have 2 constructors at Edervang. All right. Well, I want to get Regulus, but we actually have to claim Edervang and Eldamar now. And let's do... I didn't mean to do that. Let's take one of the ships, right-click Edervang. We don't have enough alloys? Son of a beep. Yeah. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to position one ship at Edervang and the other one at Eldamar. So I'm going to move there. Thank you. We have to claim both these systems before we can have a chance at Regulus. But these are turning out to be pretty nice systems. I see a moat here, and Regulus is sitting on a good amount of trade and 7 energy, and it's still being surveyed. So all that given, that's our current strategy. Is that a strategy? It's the plan. It's the plan, folks. I don't think it's strategy. Let's run the clock forward. We'll run it up to fastest speed. Why not? Oh, all right. This is the Talakiran hegemony again. They want to form a defensive pact with us. And it just says that if either's attacked, the other will automatically aid their defense. Shit. Do I want to do this? Yeah. The tricky thing is you can't enter into every agreement with everybody because you've only got so much influence. And the more we slow down our influence, the slower we expand. So it's we got to be careful. But these guys are our immediate neighbors. We are pacifists. We don't want to fight with them. So it makes sense that we would form a defensive pact. And theoretically, if another alien were to consider declaring war on us, they would be able to see that we have a defensive pact and know that we're 2 sort of unified Xeno empires and maybe hesitate to attack us. Like, we're pacifist, sure, but these guys aren't. These guys are authoritarian. Yeah, so they love Xenophiles, so they love to attack the Xeno. No, they love to be authoritarian over the Xeno. That's what they love. So I'm going to agree to it. And I'm curious also because we've noticed the other 4 pacts that we've gotten into, or agreements pacts, are each a quarter of an influence. So let's see what the defensive pact is when the month rolls over here. I paused it real quick to jump back in. Oh. Okay, so a defensive pact is 1 influence. However, you'll notice that replaced the non-aggression pact for 0.25. So it's 0.75 more expensive. So you get 25 back, but you have to spend 100. So a little bit of a trade-off. That is cutting in severely to our influence gain. So I'm not sure how we're going to offset that. But between us... Oh, look, we actually got quite a bit. We gained information about them. Look at this. We can now see their fleets here. So they are sitting at about 2,200 fleet power. Yeah, we can see all their fleets. They do have some ships in our space, which open borders. That's cool. We can survey their systems. They can survey ours. I don't mind that at all. All right. We're looking good. We're on the clock. Run the clock. Oh, I'm watching our alloys. Here we go. We actually should claim Ettervang now. I was waiting for the alloys to click over. So 67 influence, and we already will have enough to claim Edelmar here shortly. We just need to build up our alloys. And there's an alien vessel now from the CAF aliens. Let's see what they're doing here. Oh, okay. I was thinking it was a survey ship, but maybe not. Oh, no, they came through the space. They were in Edelmar. They were with us, right? They just came from the Edelmar jump. Okay, interesting. This is the Etherean society encountered. We've detected the presence of an unenlightened alien civilization on Monsoon 4 in the Monsoon system. They currently seem to be experiencing the equivalent of a renaissance, having recently left the medieval age behind them. Scientific knowledge is spreading rapidly, and the armies of their petty kingdoms are equipped with crude gunpowder-based projectile weapons. We should consider building an observation post above their world to study them more closely. Interesting. Hold on, I'm going to pause that. Where is that? Here we go. Monsoon. That little icon there represents a pre-FTL civilization. You can see that. So if and when Monsoon falls into our territory, we would build functionally a space station. Just like think of like any other science or mining station. And it would yield, I think, 8 society research. So it's actually a really effective science station. I think the upkeep's like 1 energy. So if we could do it, we will. But in the meantime, is the Atalante still working? Let me close my military fleets here. I just want to make sure all my ships have a job. Everyone but the Conway does. Oh, because the Conway's waiting at Edelmar. We're going to have this in just a moment here, folks. We're going to get this built up in just a moment. I think we're 1 more month. Yeah, we'll get us to exactly 90. Perfect. We'll just run this clock right there. Oh, shit. All right, we got to wait. We have to wait till this station's done. No problem, though. We're actually sitting in really good positions here. We'll run the clock up some more. Complete. There we go. I see our colony ship is making its way around to Jorel War. Very good. Yeah. Let's claim this. Again, there's no reason to rush to the south right now. We got so far to go. Regulus is our main. That's why we pre-positioned these 2 constructor ships this spot just to get Regulus first. So the only problem is this is going to take all of our alloy, all of our influence. But how much further do we have to go for the Ys to finish their scan? What? Oh, they're on the last system. Shit. Okay. Let's move the Fear No Spaceborne forward. We're going to not piggyback, leapfrog Edelmar. So they'll move to there while the Edelmar station's being built. We have a ways to go. Shit. I'm trying to just do quick math. 67 divided by 3 is about 22 months. 20 months. We'll see, folks. No guarantees on Regulus, and it's up to 9 energy, which is really good. Here we go. Anomaly. Where's this at? Massive impact on Monsoon 2. A colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with the surface of the planet. It's easy. It'll only take 2 months. And down here in the Monsoon, yeah, they don't have anything else to do. We're going to let them investigate, because this is already, we can see it dead ends here. So there's no rush to do all this. I'm still waiting, though, for ship to finish. Nah, they're still working. Fleet's still inbound, so we're not ready to launch an attack on the mining drones yet, but we'll get there. And what construction do we finish? Oh, that's Ettervang. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on the alien ships floating around. Oh, that's the ghost ship, by the way. It's just going to linger there. Right there. Is the ghost ship... Oh, the ghost ship is just randomly darting around this system for some reason. It doesn't actually seem to be doing anything there. Here we go. FTL impact. A massive crater on Monsoon 2 appears to be the result of a collision with a starship. From the size of the crater, we suspect that a ship exiting a hyperlane at maximum velocity rammed the planet for reasons unknown roughly 10,000 years ago. This is one of the more common certain events come up pretty regularly. But ultimately, physics research gained 460. I will take it. Pause there. Just watching the ghost ship. Oh, shit. Okay. Ghost ship seems harmless. I don't think observing it's going to help us out, but we just ran into a life form? Hold on. Oh. Dang it. Okay, the ISS Kugan Amon was trying to come at Tanobo the back way, but they ran into more alien vessels. Okay, let's just jump in here real quickly. We can't see them? I'm thinking mining drone, only because these are mining drones. So the good thing is that our fleet should be able to take out this little fleet and this little fleet at 342. We should be able to take them all out. In the meantime, what do? Let's send the Kugan Amon to... Bear in mind, we could have the Kugan Amon survey these systems, but it would only yield us anomalies. And theoretically, if we're peaceful with these guys, we could do it decades from now. But we may potentially still be able to claim some of these far-flung systems. So let's just have the Kugan Amon go down here, survey here, fingers crossed they don't run into more aliens and get destroyed. So we'll close that out. We are up here. Edelmar is ours, folks. Fantastic. And we have calf aliens. Shoot. That's their constructor ship. That's their space station. We lost Regulus. Gosh darn it. Okay, I'm going to reiterate. Back episodes ago, I kind of got in a discussion in the comments section, or someone was commenting to me saying, like, Mark, you need to rush out here towards Jarrell War and, like, push forward and claim as many of the systems because you found these aliens and there might be, planets and things you need there. That's actually completely legitimate. But the reality is that you are only going to ever have so many survey ships, so many constructors, and so much influence. You can only spread so fast. Unless you've specifically made your civilization to just expand rapidly and you've made every choice for that, you're going to run into dead ends. So we got pretty far down here on the side. We actually managed to claim Jarrell War and a couple other systems, but we lost Adrenal, we lost the Hyken system, we lost the Ranshian system. But while we're focusing on that, we weren't going this way. And so now it has cost us the Regulus system. So you're really splitting. This is my point. My advice. Don't hyper-focus. If you really want to play the race ahead game, you know what you do? You play the game at fastest speed, just spreading and exploring. Don't even worry about playing and developing your colonies. Just rush out with like 3 colony ships and constructors, or just science ships, and play the game for 20 years, 25 years to scope out what's around you, to find out where the borders are and where the choke points are. Then you reload the game back to year 1 of your gameplay, and you cheat. You essentially save scum, but it doesn't let you know what the whole galaxy is, but it lets you know where your initial points of contact are, what you're trying to race for. This is actually a decent strategy if you're trying to like win on an impossible mode, and it's really hard for you to do, like some Grand Admiral, and you're not like some master of the game, which FYI most of us are not. If you're ever wondering like, how could I ever play at that level and beat a 25 times enemy at the end and giant galaxy, how can I win? You scout out the galaxy for 20 years and then rewind the clock to your year 1 save and play out that way. What does that allow you? What does this strategy allow you to do? First of all, you're playing by yourself, so you can't cheat yourself. Don't worry about it. You're just trying to like get a good empire. You could cheat if you want to. We're not going to judge you. But here's what you would then do. You would, as you move forward from Fu, you would know that there's nothing to the south except drones. You wouldn't go to the south. You would then start going to Isius, to Wegmore, to Edervang, to Edelmar, and to Regulus. If you just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right from the bat from Fu, you could do that easily. You could probably have Regulus under your control by year 12, year 15. And conversely, you wouldn't jump down here grabbing, you know, these others. And as you went north, same thing. You go to Isius, to Yurgul, to Nishpan. You would never go back to Halvam in these and spend those years surveying them. You would just push forward to Esheku, Sonos, Castor, Jarrell. You wouldn't go south to Helios. You would then head to Algernon, and you'd get all the way to Hyken, closing off all this. So with just 2 science ships and 2 constructors in the first dozen years, I could rush ahead and lock in Regulus and lock in Hyken, knowing at that point that with my future seeing capability, there's nothing harmful down here, at least up to year 26. And then you would be able to easily backfill this Helios and Damian and back here in Halvam and Sumonetta in Ejok and all these ones coming down this way in Saiban and Escaminza. That would be a way to... We've only had 2 critical choke points, but we've missed them both. We've had to settle for lesser choke points, but that's just a strategy to kind of like, again, save scum, but really get a big controlled empire pretty easily. If you were aggressive enough, you may even be able to get from Hyken to Bidiza, and then that would prevent these Xenos from coming through. Well, let's see. This is their homeworld here of Akur. If you were able to get to Bidiza, however you say it, you would then gain this access up to the northern half of the galaxy, the northern arm of the galaxy, and cut them off, thus choking them down to this handful of systems, and then they would have to come this way, and then you would come down later and cut them off. So I only point all that out to say me rushing to get to Jorwell War and further only meant that I got to Regulus later. It was a trade-off. It was always going to be a trade-off. That's why you don't hyper-focus. Don't be like, oh, I must get to that system no matter what. Normally, no, you don't. You're going to give up something else somewhere else. You know what I'm happy about is I got the volatile mote. It's mine. Awesome. I like that. Down here, I got more volatile motes, and I think I got exotic gases. So there were some frontier worlds that I've locked in that are really valuable to us. I have no complaints at this point. That being said, Regulus is theirs. Now, I could push the ISS-wise further. I got to be a little careful, though, because I believe we are currently trying to communicate with them, the CAF aliens. If they close their borders, we could get a science ship offsides, like behind enemy lines. So I don't want to send our science ship further in there. There's nothing for them to survey. No, they're just going to enter orbit. Okay, let's just pull them back to here then. We're not going to go any further. This is alien space this way. There's no question. So we'll just pull them back to here. We'll shift survey. Oh, shit. Hold on. Stop that. I just realized maybe we do want to try and claim this, so we should survey Ejok first, because this would be 2 jumps away. So let's do this. Let's go survey here, then survey here. Yeah. Good enough. We'll leave this little dangler out here for the time being, because we don't know if we'll actually get it first. Construction completed at Edelmar. At this point, we could have our constructors make some stations, just because we're not going to be able to claim that. So let's do that. Let's grab this ship with no orders. Let's send them back to Ettervang, and we'll build that mining station and shift research station. Cool. And then let's grab the other constructor, which is en route to Regulus. We're going to stop those orders, and we're going to have them just build... Why can't I build them? Oh, there are no mining stations. Research stations. There's a mining station, but we can't harvest volatile motes yet. All right. So they'll grab up those stations, and we have new Regulus surveyed. And what else is surveyed? Escalon surveyed. Okay, very cool. But that does mean we now have the Free Pearl has nothing to do, no anomalies. So let's send them to Rana to prepare for getting the space debris. And the Atalante is still doing surveying. Okay, let's push everything forward. I see another colony ship is prepared, the Bellowing Jack. I think they're going to Wegmore next. We'll watch here. Another anomaly just popped up. I'll pause that. Construction completed at Demoon. All right, there's not really much for the Bones of a Dead Star to do on this back side. I could move them to the front. We have 1, 2, 3 constructors. Yeah, let's swing them all the way back around. If we ever were to need another constructor, I might have Fu A Station build one and then send it over, like when we can get volatile motes. Volatile motes, though, to me, seem like they're a long way off because we don't even have them in the technology. We haven't even come across the option for them yet, so I'm not going to rush it. And what's this? Monsoon Anomaly. We'll probably have them survey this again because at Monsoon, there's no rush to do anything. Unusual energy readings. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from the planet. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could be a sign of something more. It's an easy project. It'll take 2 months. Investigate. Cool. Run that clock, folks. And our fleets are together. Yes, we are ready to take on the Tanobo system. Hold on a sec. Yeah, both fleets are there. I want to make sure the fleets go through roughly at the same time because the 509 firepower fleet could actually get really messed up by the 683. But since the fleets are at the star together, we're going to select them. And we are going to send them to there to go do some space battle. Very cool. And we have 2 anomalies that have popped up. One of them is here at Unuk. Okay, let's take a look. Weak signal. By chance, we stumbled upon a faint alien signal during a survey of the planet. The source appears to be a small object in orbit. The signal contains no message. Could it be a distress transponder? We will investigate. Easy. And again, we've got all the time in the world down here. What's the other one? Where are you at? Monsoon 1. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from the planet. It might have been a glitch in the system, or it could be a sign of something more. Research progress. Oh, they're already working on it. My bad. Run the clock. Oh, I want to watch the fight. Oh, yeah, dang it. Yeah. I'm so... Did you see those windows just popped up and every time I hit pause, I must have been hitting play. It was just thing after thing after thing. That sucked. Sorry. I wanted to watch us fight the mining drones. We won, apparently. Okay. Here we go. Mummified pilot. The mummified remains of a single individual belonging to a previously unknown mammalian species have been found drifting in high orbit over UNAC 2. The being is dressed in what appears to be a flight suit complete with a helmet, and maybe a fighter pilot that ejected in some ancient battle, only to be forgotten and left behind. Our study of the corpse has provided some interesting data. Tragic fate, society research gained 429. That's fantastic. That was down here. Glancing hit. While approaching Monsoon 1, the ISS Atalanta recently received a glancing hit by several passing mass driver rounds. The projectiles were billions of years old, and based on their trajectory, they appeared to be stray rounds fired from a neighboring galaxy. After missing their intended target, they continued on their journey for untold millennia. Until today, the rounds we have recovered are of an advanced design despite their incredible age. I can only imagine they must have gotten decelerated and caught in the shields of the ship, the deflector shields, because an intergalactic velocity projectile, meaning a velocity that had the ability to escape the gravitational pull of its home galaxy, would be extremely fast. 100,000 kilometers an hour kind of speed, I'm guessing. Like I know, like for our planet, it's 18,000 miles an hour, right? Something like that. And then to escape our solar system, it's faster than that. It's like 50,000 kilometers an hour or something, you know, like it gets more and more. So I think to escape the galaxy, you've got to go even faster, I'm assuming. But cool. Incredible. Engineering research gained 288. I will take it. Those are all great bonuses to our research piggy banks. That being said, we got a lot of stuff to do here. Why is this working? Who is completed here? You go back to surveying. Okay, you are just sitting there, entering orbit at Rana, but we know we want you to actually start surveying Tanubu. Sure, we'll send them to do that. I thought there would be a debris field, though. By the way, our ships did take a little bit of damage. If you look at the hijack fleet, it is sitting at 493, so the mining drones did a little bit of damage. But we should have more than enough to take out these guys. Actually, let's grab the fleets and move them onto Howard, and they should have no trouble crushing that. So we'll move them through their combat fleet stats. I don't care about physics research. I missed an entire research popped up. Okay, that was unfortunate. This is a problem with playing with fastest mode. I'm going to play on fast mode because fastest was going so quick there that it, like, months were flying by. So we'll slow it down a little bit. Now, I'm wondering, what did I just research? If you go to the research button right here, it shows you what you've worked on most recently. I believe it goes from... Yeah, so starting texts are down here. So at the bottom is what you researched first or already had, and then up at the top, this is our most recent technology, global energy management. We get a new edict. Yay. 30 minutes here. Okay. Capacity subsidies. This is an edict. It'll last until canceled. Resources produced by technicians are increased by 50%. So if your technicians produce 4 energy apiece, they'll now produce 6 energy apiece. Big gains. However, upkeep per 100 technicians is plus half of an energy. So the good news is, though, is if your technicians are going to now produce 1 extra energy at a 50% bonus, but you have to pay a half, the upkeep doesn't scale. It's fixed at 1/2 energy forever. But as your technicians get better and better, that 50% will commensurately produce more and more energy. So that is an edict we will turn on. We also have a building called the Energy Grid. Limit 1 per planet. This would give us resources produced by technicians plus 20%. So that's just a flat boost. Now, we would only build that building on Castor Prime, because that is specifically a world where we have technicians. I wouldn't probably put one anywhere else. And finally, unlocks the specialization for energy generation. Fantastic. That just gives us, it unlocks 3 building slots on the energy district area, and it would yield an extra 100 technician jobs. So I'm glad we got it. That being said, let's select a new physics research. Bear in mind that Voidborn Mary is a field manipulation level 2 expert. So we might go with field manipulation. What do we got here, folks? Just looking down. Survey speed, colony development speed. Those are both good. In particular, because we're going to have 3 new colonies going. But I don't know if we would get this research before our colonies would be developed. So we might have missed the bus on that one. Survey speed would be good for us because we are pretty much in a desperate race to survey faster than the aliens. So probably never a bad choice in the early game. And then we do have 2 field options. Improved deflectors. It's just better shields with better regen rates. And then the Field Dynamics Center is a building that's specifically for physicist research. We're going to skip on that. We've already decided that. And then Blue Laser. It's just a better laser. Wouldn't be bad. I would like to get the mining drone laser technology, though, from the mining drones we're starting to fight. I'd rather try and get the technology that way and go. We start at red laser, and then I think it's mining drone laser and blue laser. So let's go with survey speed. We'll have it pretty quick here. All these are being boosted considerably because we've been earning from our anomalies. We've been getting research boosts and stuff, and we have a tradition available. Very nice. 2 picks. We're closing in here. Public works wouldn't help us that much. Right now, city districts would provide 100 additional housing. But we built luxury apartments, buildings. So we don't really need that boost in particular. This is kind of like a bad technology for us. It also improves ring world city segments and archaeology or arcologies. But I don't know that we'll come across either of those in our vanilla playthrough here. So Public Works sucks. However, Interstellar franchising, yeah. Upkeeps from jobs, -5%. It's actually not that. It's probably just going to save us a little bit of energy in consumer goods, but I'll take it. Our consumer goods is at -6, so any reduction to consumer goods would be useful. So, yeah, here we go. A focus on franchising allows even the most mundane planet to open thriving, dynamic businesses and provide local jobs and increase trade. Cool. And we are now 37 months out from being able to cap prosperity. All right. Run that clock forward. Actually, check it out. We did gain a little more energy, and we did gain a little more consumer goods, specifically because of the 5% upkeep reduction to all jobs. It's cool. What do we got here? New trait, mining rush. Fantastic. Right here. Minerals from jobs are plus 2.5%. Now, that's empire-wide as a counselor. So that's from Drown Morgan. That is awesome. I can't complain about that. What else do we got? A new system survey. There's the monsoon system. Okay. It's not great. It's not horrible. But yeah, we'll just kind of keep them meandering on. I'm wondering if we should keep pushing forward, or if we should like get over here and hurry up with these surveys. They're kind of a ways away from helping out over here. Yeah, maybe we should focus in a little more. Let's do it. Let's pull them back. How far are they from EJOC survey system? We're going to have them just jump in here. I want to grab these 3 systems because of the loss of Regulus if possible. And then we'll get back into here. Here we go.
Colonization in progress.
Oh, sweet. That is Wegmore? Yeah, Wegmore got colonized. Okay. Enemy combat. Here we go. Let's take a look at this. Here, we can actually slow down the clock here. Here we go. We're running at slowest mode, so this is day by day. Oh god, that's really slow. Hold on. Let's speed up a little more. There we go. Here we go. Let's zoom in. Okay. So I'm going to slow it down again. So you can actually get in extremely close. Now, the problem is these little guys jump around like mad, crazed squirrels, but here we go. That's on slowest, so there you go. They're firing like red mining lasers, and you can see the shield deflections, right? So it's actually pretty cool effects. And you can always pause it, like if you really want to like look at what's going on, right? I see healing. Sure, those are like little repair symbols, the caduceus and the plus thing. That's shielding. This is the enemy ship, and I believe you can jump in. Yeah, here's the combat. Our ships are on the left. We can scroll through. There's quite a few of them, right? They're divided by fleet. And these ships are getting damaged. Look at this. The armor is gone. Shields are being completely bypassed. Look at this. This Corvette, the Divine Fury, has 150 of 150 shields. So whatever these mining drone lasers are doing are completely bypassing shields, have cut through the armor. They had 100 armors down to 0, and now they're cutting through the hole. They're at 77 of 244. Let's see what's happening to the aliens here. We've destroyed at least 1 because there's 300 and some. So I think there were 3 ships. They're down to 2. And as we look at this guy, can we see? Oh, it's weird. It won't let me see the alien vessel. Well, oh, but you could still tell. Look, this is the armor right there, and then the green is going to be the hull. So let's just watch. I'm just wondering if they're going to destroy our ships before we destroy theirs, because these guys are getting pretty beat up. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so the orange is the armor, the green is the hull. I'm guessing the blue ring is the shielding here. So it'd probably go shielding down, then armor, then hull, and that's it. I don't think our ships are going to die because you can see they're not really dropping considerably. Oh, sorry, I get you a better view of that. There you go. So that was the fight. I only pointed that out that if you want to see the details of a fight and also look at it, it could be kind of cool. There's all sorts of unusual ship builds, like hundreds of models for ships and alien life forms, so it's fun to zoom in sometimes and kind of see the cinematic nature of it. This is the debris field. Hold on. Yeah. And it's a special project, mineral extraction operation, traces of components for small cutting laser, fusion reactor, ion thrusters. Those are 3 technologies. Now, we don't get the technology outright, but we get like a little boost to it. And for us in particular, since we're bad at research and we haven't really focused on any ship components, this is a good way to work on all 3 of them at once. So that is a timed event, though, signified by this time clock up here. And it's saying that, yes, the debris and Howard, you will have 1,800 days. So, I don't know what that is, like 6 years, something like that. A long time. You got a long time to research the debris, but eventually it will scatter in orbit of the system. It'll be lost. I don't know why it's timed, actually, but it is. Don't sweat it. Okay. What are we going to do? We are going to do a couple things. The Free Pearl is surveying. So there was no debris there. For the first mining drill, so not every time you destroy a fleet does it leave debris. We just figured that out because I think. Hold on, let me go to technology. Hold on. Dang it. I don't want to change my research. What were those under? Engineering? I'm not going to risk it. Hold on. Let's just. I'm going to stop the Free Pearl from doing what she is doing, and I want to go grab this and research that project there. Okay, simple enough. The last thing I think I want to do is, now that we have the fleet over here, we already know there's no aliens at the UNAC system because the Kuganamon's already there. Let's take this fleet and we'll just scout this out real quick, just to look at it, and then we'll retreat back because the other place we want to send them is here and take out this fleet. So everyone's got a mission right now, looking pretty sweet. And I don't see any constructor ships down here, so I don't think that the Tal Akuran are going to be expanding in this direction anytime soon. Fingers crossed. What do we got going on? The Atalante is moving this way. I wonder how close we are to getting this surveyed. Hold on. What ship is that? The Wise? Oh, they got like a year left. They got to survey both of these yet. It's okay. They're almost done with the station at Eder Vang, and then we can move the constructor ship to Ejok. And these guys have no orders. All right. I'm going to move the Fear No Spaceborne to Duwumgar, just to be pre-positioned. We're going to pre-position our science ships and our constructors, trying to claim these if possible. In particular, I just noticed that Duwumgar has 2 exotic gases. Yeah, we definitely want to claim that if possible here, folks. Situation log, that is just the debris field. We already know about that. That's handled. Energy and consumer goods are doing okay. Oh, edict. We have an edict to launch. Policies and edicts, capacity subsidies. So it'll take 30 Unity to launch and only 20 to maintain, but you can see here we have tons of headroom. So yeah, we're going to lock that in, and we will watch our energy. Theoretically, energy will pop over here. I got to speed this back up to fastest. There we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we just gained 23 energy from that edict. So some of the edicts don't do a whole lot for you initially, and some of them, like we still have like the recycling campaign we've never turned on because it's so worthless. But this is massive. One edict just got us 23 extra energy. That's a lot. That's like a whole building's, it's hundreds of workers worth of energy production. So it's really good. And we finished construction at Eder Vang. We're going to move them to Ejok. Cool. It's going to take the Atalante a little while to get there, but and the Council of Agenda, yeah, it's we come in peace. I'm willing to turn on and come in peace and take the naval capacity hit of minus 25%, but not until we get the technology of naval capacity done in 22 more months. And that'll resolve that for us. So let's just run the clock. I see, by the way, our next colony ship is here, and that should be for the Rolltree system. Oh, and I can see Wegmore Prime is being colonized. What the fudge is that? Enemy fleets. Oh, shoot. The Lambda aliens. Do we know who the Lambdas are? Oh, fudge. That sucks. What do we... Oh, gosh, dang it. They're 2K. They have a base back here. So, a couple things going on. This fleet is out here. Fortunately, they're not by the station because that station could potentially have firepower. So, we should be able to engage them, but this could be really bad for our fleet. I don't know if we can disengage. Shit. I don't think we can win. Oh, shoot. Well, so much for that, folks. I mean, don't get me wrong. When this fleet rushes in, it'll help out. But I don't know that we got the firepower to take these guys out. We have no specialized weapons, and we have no edicts or policies we can turn on to help us with combat right now. Can I retreat them out of here? No. You can see here they're engaged in a battle already. Are these guys engaged in a battle? They are not. This is one of those things where like you're playing for real now. Now it's easy to talk about the game on easy mode and just like casually be like, yeah, you should do this and this, but there is no good answer here. Right now, when I click on this fleet, they don't look engaged. I think I could make them turn around, go back to the hero system, and they should be able to jump out before these guys can finish off these guys, thus saving me 8 Corvettes. Or do I send in that 500 with this 1100, the 16 against the 2K and fight? I don't know that we can win the fight. I mean, just look at the numbers. I don't think we can win the fight. I don't know exactly if these are mining drones either. They look sort of like mining drones. Are these? They do look like mining drones. We'll let them fight. Here's the thing. There's a chance that they will jump out. Do we have any? Yeah, we have commanders in there. Maroon and Jones. I don't know if they would just stay into the death. I don't have a great answer. Unyielding. Combat disengagement chances minus 20%. That means when they get in there, when this hijack fleet gets in there, they're really not going to run. A couple of these ships are heavily damaged. Let's run it. Let's let them fight, folks.
Research complete.
It's going so fast. We're going to jump back to this. I want to watch it. I mean, it's interesting. I don't think we're going to win. Let's close these down. Close these down. Close that down. That council thing is popping up. Here we go. Improve Corvette hulls. Plus 10%. And frigate hulls plus 10%. Advances in building techniques will allow for the construction of sturdier and more durable Corvettes. New Corvettes. Not the Corvettes in this fight right now. These guys are hosed. Good news is it'll solve our naval capacity problem. Just shrug. New research. Oh, wow, we got a lot of options, actually. Materials Workshop. That is an engineering building for science. We don't care about that. Afterburners. Corvette build speed and build cost. That might be a really smart thing to take now, considering we're going to be down about 15 Corvettes. Some of those ships may jump away and they'll limp back to our space after several years. We'll get some of them back, hopefully. But we're going to take some losses right now. What else do we have? Crystal infused plating. That is a good armor. However, it takes space nuts or crystals, rare crystals, and we don't have access to those. So crystal infused plating is going to wait. We want it eventually, probably, but for right now, it isn't going to help us out. Yeah, because we don't have rare crystals. So that being said, let's do the Corvette patterns. Corvette build cost minus 5%, build speed plus 25%. Yeah, it's going to help us out here. In as well as it stacks on top of the Corvette hull plus 10%. So we might come across destroyer technology next. But if we've already put time investigating better Corvettes and then we just leave them and then move on to destroyers, it's not bad. Destroyers are much better ships, but we could invest in better hulls for corvettes and building them faster and cheaper, and just really say we're going to stick with corvettes for a long while, but we're going to have really good corvettes for the class of ship it is. That's a thought. That being said, we made our decisions. Let's slow down the fight a little bit. Let's watch it play out here, folks. Yeah, we're just outgunned. Oh gosh, yeah. Starting to turn pretty badly against us here. You know, one of the strategies I could have used would have been to kept our entire fleet, like all of our ships intact in like one map, because I think we had like 4 fleets. We could have kept them all together, which would have allowed them to have won this battle pretty handily. But at the same time, that's just one strategy. Here, hold on. I want to get in there. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's just one strategy because you could run into a fleet that has 8K. Like eventually that could just happen. And when that happens, our little combined fleet of say our fleet combined is 3,500, it would have beaten this fleet, but it's not going to beat a different fleet. Hold on a second. Sorry, one of my kids was blasting music in the room through their door, through this door. It's fixed now. Okay. We'll let this battle play out. Here's the thing. You could definitely say, but the odds are the fleets you're going to find are going to be smaller most of the time. So keep your fleets together in one massive fleet. You'll always be better off. However, when you start to get, we'll let it play out. When you start to have a empire that spans multiple years of travel time in any direction, you are going to potentially have something like as simple as an asteroid or comet that's going to crash into one of your colonies. It only has 600 hit power, so all you need is a 1K fleet to destroy it, but it's going to collide into your planet if all of your ships are over on a different side of your empire. So having a 1 or 2K sprinkled around in different areas is not a bad idea. I mean, eventually your fleets will be, 20,000, 50,000, 100K fleets, and you'll have multitudes of them, but it's always trade-offs in the game. It's just like, race ahead to go grab that system while exploring in every other direction, or put all your fleets together into one mega fleet so you can win as many random battles as you might come up, surprise battles. You're gonna have the best odds. Great strategy, but that means that when one of your planets has that rogue asteroid or some pirate fleet shows up or something weird like that, and you have no one within 5 years of travel time to help, your shit gets messed up. So it's all trade-offs. There's not a right way to do it, folks. But I can see Jarrell War and Wegmore are both in the colonization phase. And what do we got going on here? Debris analyzed. Oh, perfect. That was at Howard. Here we go. 10% progress on mining drone lasers, 10% progress on fusion power, ion thrusters, and we got 40 research points for physics and 20 for engineering. Very cool. We'll dismiss that. System surveys at the Dwumgar and at the Yunak system. Holy crap. Okay. You know what we need to do with the Lambda aliens is we need to try and pacify them. These mining drones, there's a lot of them, right? It's like the space crystals. If we could pacify the mining drones, that might be really good for us. So what's our progress? Oh shit, we don't even have an envoy helping them. Ugh. Here we go. Mad Baldessari, we're going to assign to making contact with the mining drones here to see if we can pacify them. So we don't lose freaking more fleets, because that blows. I mean, at least we cleared this area out, so I mean, in that sense, it's good, but like, I'm pretty sure these are mining drones. These maybe are mining drones. I don't know. All right. It is what it is. I can cry over my spilled soup later. What's the Kuganamon doing? Where's she at? Right here. Okay. Well, at the very least, we'll backfill this way, right? We want to get these surveyed, and then we're obviously going to have to stay out of the Cure system, but we can then start having them survey through here, potentially. Yeah. And I can see that we are indeed surveying at Egypt, and this guy's still on his way to help out. Son of a beep. Son of a beep. I want to keep this constructor here in the Dungar system, though, because I want to see if any aliens come at us. Potentially, if we spend twice the influence cost, we could build that space station before we finish the EJOC system 1. It's not a good use of our influence, but I would love to get those 2 exotic gases. What are they doing here? I don't see any movement of their ships here. And let's pause real quick here. Time Project, the Cure. Whose stuff got destroyed in the Cure? Is that drones? Sorry. Yeah. That's space debris. That's our space debris. It's our destroyed fleet, not theirs. We're not going to send a science vessel to go investigate the debris field while the aliens are still there. And yes, our fleet is missing in action. The Belt Manglers and the hijack fleet. At least one of our fleets have gone missing in action. It'll take them some time to return. We have return times of 28 and 29. So that's not that bad. Within a year or two, we'll get them back. So hopefully some fragment of them will get back. We'll close those down. And I'm just watching up here to see if a ship comes across into the Duumgur system. Oh, we got an anomaly popped up. What do we have here, folks? This is in Tanobo 2. Our science officer has found an anomaly. It will require extensive probing, but could garner a substantial find. So we're going to have Void-Born Mary do the routine research. 84 days, investigate. Very cool.
Anomaly found.
Okay. We found an anomaly, the ISS Wise at EJOC, but we are going to skip that because we need to get the EJOC system surveyed. So when I click on the anomaly, I will say leave for now, even though it's routine. Yeah. I see a science ship coming in. I don't see any... Well, I can't identify these vessels, so that doesn't really help us. How are we doing over here?
In progress.
I just want to see... the Wise has just 4 items left to survey, so we're very close. What's the Free Pearl doing? Golden Rackham, where's you at, homie? Sorry, I'm losing track of my ships here. Free Pearl right there. Okay. We'll get back to surveying that system, please. There you go. All right. Just watching very carefully. So one interesting thing about Stellaris is you can play it at a very macro level where you don't watch battles. You stuff happens. Fleet icons disappear without you ever knowing what the outcome was until later, you know. But you can also truly use your own human eyes to be like, oh, there's a constructor coming from Regulus to Duumgar. I'm going to try and, build that even before EJOC's finished. So there's little, identifying crystalline entities versus mining drones, getting a feel for how they're going to behave. Okay. Teachings of Explorers. The ISS Kugenamon's crew is reporting that they found something spectacular on Tanobo 2. On the surface lies traces of an explorative expedition of another civilization. Left behind are some well-preserved documents and artifacts. The proposed action by Chief Science Officer Void-Born Mary is to send the text findings to our homeworld for translation. There is also the possibility to sell them off to a private investor. The 2 options. Send it to our homeworld for research. That's translating Explorer's text, special project, or sell to a private collector for 2,000 energy and 5,000 resources. So that's just a massive cash out. That's an option. That's not a bad option. Sometimes if you're in a situation where you happen to need the cash out they're providing, like in that moment you need alloy or you need mineral, like right now, take it. But in general, if I look at this and go 2,000 relative to the 8,000 I have stored and 5,000 relative to the 500 consumer goods relative to the 5,000 I have stored, it's not going to make any difference. It's like, yeah, it's 10% or 25% more, but I have plenty of reserves. I'm not falling way behind. It's not critical. So I would not take cash outs when there are better options. I say we send it and we get a special project. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pause there. Let's take a look real quick at the translating Explorer text. 24 months to finish it. Can we afford to do it right now? I think we can. Why? Because our fleet cap has dropped down, and we no longer in critical need of this fleet doctrine. We just aren't. This is fixed. We don't need fleet doctrine anytime soon. So yeah, we're gonna jump in here. We're gonna say spend the next 24 months translating the text. Go at it. Have at it. We'll go for another minute or two. I really want to try and claim Ejok and Drumgar. In particular, I'm hoping we'll have enough influence to claim one and then the other pretty quickly, one after another. So we'll see here. All right, Ejok is ready. Survey completed. I'm going to take the Canway, right-click, build the starbase, and you can see our influence, and we have plenty of alloys, which is nice. So now we just need the influences. And I can actually survey the anomaly because Ejok's ready. So investigate the anomaly. And we have 2 science ships here. This is more than we need at this point. We will take the Atalante and do what with her? Let's have her survey maybe the Edelmar system. Yeah. Let's survey this over in the Edelmar system, research anomaly. It's kind of a difficult one, but I don't think that will be a problem for now. We have 2 science ships down here. We have 2 over here. The frontier to the south, excuse me. We can't get any further than Ditcham right now until we get our fleets put back together. There you go. In fact, where is the other fleet? It's over there protecting Jarrell War. Oh my gosh, do I pull it out of there? It's like a 1K combined. It's not that powerful, and it's a long way away. No, I say we wait for our missing fleets to come back. We'll get them fixed up at the food station. We may build a couple more corvettes, and then we'll send them south, taking this out, and then we can... as soon as we're done over here, by the way, on our next episode, we should be able to finish with these 2 systems, getting them claimed. We will then take any additional influence and start working to the south and the east again. So that's the game plan. On our next episode, we are also going to hopefully have these 3 worlds colonized, and we can get into there, and we're going to look more at specializations. It's time for us to start taking industrial worlds and getting them specialized. For instance, we have... No, wrong example. Here we go. Castor is a generator world, and we have a specialization available. We've gotten the technology to unlock this and get these buildings done. So we'll look at that next episode. Okay, folks, if you watched this week, I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.